Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Organic Matters. And you can probably hear that I am outside, but I'm outside on my own farm because, like a lot of farmers listening, I can be guilty of not getting out and maybe lifting my head up and seeing what's going on around the world. So this week for the podcast, that's brought to you of course by the Irish Organic Association, we are going to do a bit of travelling, a bit of virtual travelling. We're going to go on a road trip. So first of all, we are going to meet two Californian farmers. They're organic dairy farmers, and as a lot of you will know, California has been suffering from drought. Now, Ireland might have suffered from drought over this summer, but just listen to these two and see what you think.
My name is George McClellan. We have McClellan Dairy in Petaluma, California. We milk 1,050 cows.
I'm Gary Burdessa. We have two dairies, milk 350 cows on each one. We're 70 miles from San Francisco, about 2 miles from the ocean.
And I guess it's interesting because you're from Organic Valley, you're organic farmers, and you're touring around Scotland and you've been to Ireland as well. But what we hear about California is that you guys are experiencing quite a severe drought.
We actually hauled water we started in October of 2020 all the way to December of 2021. We have a ranch 9 miles away that had an artesian well, has all kinds of water. So we had our own water trucks and we were hauling 44,000 gallons a day, 11 4,000 gallon loads a day. And the cows did quite well in the fresh water compared to our earthen water. And the government did help us with drought relief. Each year we're experiencing more expense on our grains and our hay that we have to purchase because there's more alfalfa ranches throughout Nevada and Oregon where we buy our alfalfa hay that are out of water. I read an article last week. There's 690,000 acres in California that are fallow right now because of no water. Now this last spring we got a couple timely rains in October and then December. Our reservoir filled within 5 feet of the top, so we're only hauling about 3 loads of water a week because our wells haven't come up, the water table hasn't come up, but the earthen reservoir is filled, so within 5 feet of the top, and so we're not hauling water for the cows right now. And we had a better spring. We got a few rains in April, so the grass grew better, the silage was better, and so that helped us. But our hay prices are up. Our hay prices, alfalfa hay right now is $480 a ton. And last year it was $350. The year before it was $300. So our feed costs are astronomical. I doubt we're going to make any money till this thing gets straightened out again. But it is what it is.
Gary, are you sinking wells or anything like that?
Yes, during the drought, 2 years ago, we drilled 3 wells. One was dry, and 2 were actually pretty productive. So that was our choice. We got government money to drill the wells, and I thought it was better investment to try and do that than to try and haul water for a short period of time.
Is it impacting the value of trying to sell calves as well? Because I mean, there's a lot of talk sometimes about trying to sell dairy calves, dairy bull calves in particular. Do people want calves? Are other farmers worried about how much it's going to cost to rear them?
Well, with the grain prices so high, the small calves are worth a lot less. Actually, our beef price on our mature organic cows are actually up higher price, 10 to 15 cents a pound this year than previous years. But our baby calves went all the way down to $20 where they used to be $80, $90. And the calf ranches, it's just costing them too much to buy the grain and the milk replacer to raise them. And so it has affected that also, the drought. And we've gone through other droughts. We had a drought to 76, 77. I think we had a drought in the mid-80s. So this isn't new, and we're just hoping, each year you hope next year is going to be better.
Is this the longest it's been?
3 years? Yeah.
Yeah.
And other droughts were more centralized just in our area, and other areas had, when you got out of California, like in Oregon or Nevada, they had more water, so we had to buy feed. We're hauling hay right now all the way from Idaho. So
how many miles does that give people now a clue?
It's like
Over 1,000.
over 1,000 miles we're hauling hay, and it is what it is. And we want, good hay for our cows, and so we just have gone further to look for the hay.
And that's because the drought has gotten bigger. It's affected other areas also.
Yeah, the whole western Oregon, California, Nevada, and all the way through the southern states to Texas is more experiencing the drought.
Are you two going to make any money this year from dairy farming?
I don't think I've ever lost money in the dairy business for as long as I've been doing it. I'm not sure about this year, if we're going to lose or not.
Yeah, it doesn't look as good as it has in previous years, that's for sure. And we look at what we're paying. It's costing me right now $4 a day more to feed a milk cow than it did a year ago. Yeah, this might be the year that we might not make any money.
Two organic farmers there from California who would make you feel very lucky, I think, to see a bit of rain outside. Now, next up, I know it can be controversial at times, but talking about keeping the calf at foot in dairy enterprises. Now, it's not something that's done commonly in Ireland, but more and more farmers in the UK are doing it. And I visited a farm in Scotland, the Ethical Dairy, who have been pioneers on this front, and they have over 100 cows where they keep the calf at foot. And I spoke to David Finlay about that. Hi David, how are you?
Hi Hannah, how are you? Welcome to the Ethical Dairy here in Galloway in southwest Scotland. Now, if you look around, you'll be able to see our cows and calves, and this is a dairy farm, and you'll be thinking, why are the calves with the cows? This is very unusual, and that's why we call ourselves the Ethical Dairy, which has raised a few hackles, I must admit. But we've found that actually, by leaving the calves with their mothers, we are getting milk stimulation. Counterintuitively, we're getting an increase in milk production in total, even though the calves are drinking 2,000 litres of our organic milk.
I can hear dairy farmers at home sitting, and I can feel them sitting at the kitchen table and their heads exploding, thinking, how on earth does this man milk over 100 cows and keep the calves at foot, essentially?
Okay, well, just to get a bit of background, we're now 100% pasture fed, so there's no cereals, no soya.
And you're doing winter as well as spring milk?
Winter milk, spring milk. We've got two herds of 60, 65 cows, and it's to give us milk all year round, and also to give us a balance of the milk solids, because when the calves are suckling, the cows give us a lower butter fat than once they're weaned. So the calves are on the cows for about 5 months, and in that time, they are drinking an average of about 15 litres a day. We separate overnight from about 2 months of age. And that's to ensure that we've got a reasonable share of the milk, and we cut down the amount of access time for the calves to about 8 hours a day. Even then, once they get to 4 months of age, they can still drink about 15 litres a day of milk. Then we wean them. We could see that there is a niche market there, waiting to be exploited by anybody who could crack the cow with calf conundrum.
And currently you have the cows and calves separated. We can hear a cow grazing right next to it. They are very content. They do not look distressed at all. And people are going to wonder, how do you actually milk in the parlour? Do the calves come into the parlour with the cows?
No, the calves don't. In fact, if we bring those calves into the parlour, they'll go into their creep area, because that's what were used to in the springtime when they were first.
It's routine. That's what you've created, a routine, and you stuck to it.
Yeah, the routine's absolutely critical. Look at the cows; they're just lying there cutting. The calves are lying in the field nearby, and they're quite relaxed. There's not a sound.
No, there isn't. There's no bawling, there's no crying. I mean, are you saying that you did this for customer demand, but Are you happier doing it?
Well, there's two sides to that. One is I feel more comfortable doing it, and we know our customers in the ethical market we get letters and emails every day, almost every day. We're getting somebody saying, "I discovered you and I think you're wonderful, blah blah blah," and it makes you feel good. Sure, It's disruptive for the dairy industry because they always considered this to be a red line you didn't cross, and so they see that as setting a precedent that they do not want set. And then of course we've got our vegan friends, our fundamentalist friends, who are constantly trying to trash our online social media stuff. So we get attacked from both sides, but that's the price you pay. But you get, the market is there, the market is growing. It is growing, and if we walk away from it as an industry, then it will punish us for sure.
Are you making money?
Well, for the first 3 years, first year we lost a lot of money. Second year we lost less. The third year we broke even. We are now into a profit, small profit, yeah. But I reckon by the end of next year, we will have this exactly where we want it, and it will be more profitable than we have been in dairying. We expect to hit 3,500 litres by the end of next year, 3,500 litres per cow, but with 25% more cows than we had before, and selling 25% more beef cattle as well. So we all the figures, and we know we can do it. We've been through hell, and we're now seeing clear daylight that we can make this thing work.
Your farm manager quit at one stage.
Yes. Well, Charles, who's managing the herd, he came from big dairy, and he came here because he wanted his life back. But our previous herd manager, he tried with us in 2012. Said it ain't broke. Why are we trying to fix it? And I very sympathised with him. I really did. But anyway, we had to have another shot in 2016, and we've stuck with it. And really, it does work. It can,
But you came from an intensive dairy background too. You were an agricultural consultant at one stage.
Well, we're small scale intensive. We were stacking them high, sure. But it's this whole journey. What we've discovered: organic, ecological, regenerative, you name it, cow with calf, pasture fed, all that stuff. It is transformational. It really is, and we've thrown away the old rule book. It's gone, and we're making up the rules as we go along, and it is working better. We only buy half a ton of straight lucerne nuts a year per cow, coming down from we're up at 2 tons. No fertiliser, no pesticides, no antibiotic, and a little bit of feed. Today, that's worth a lot of money. Anyway.
You're getting cold. Thanks, guys. Thank you very much, David.
You're welcome.
Cheers.
You're welcome.
A novel idea from David, and of course a lot of you will probably know that David and his wife Wilma, they do sell raw cheese on their farm in Scotland, and they've also just started selling pasteurised milk, because of course selling unpasteurised milk is actually illegal in Scotland, not of course illegal in Ireland, thankfully. So that's it from the Organic Matters this week. It's been brought to you by the Irish Organic Association, and I'm Hannah Quinn Mulligan. Now if you want any more information on organics, you can visit www.irishorganicassociation.ie, and be sure to subscribe and tune in from whatever podcast host you subscribe to. We're also available on Spotify.